Alright guys, so last time we had some bad luck with Joe. I was really sad about him dying. He was so good at what he did. Killing aliens. So in the meantime, we're regrouping up here to take on the main UFO. But I was kind of just exploring these outer parts here. Trying to see if there's anybody else just hiding from us. But I don't think there is, so I'm just going to go up to the UFO and clear that out. We have some good people still with us. We got to get our other people time to grow. Lara did pretty good. She didn't kill anybody, but she did good. She was there for Mike. So, good news is we still have our shield. Yeah, I don't want to lose anything more than what we already have. So let's get up here. Sergeant Knudsen. Bring our heavy weapon up. Get ready for What hurt him? Is there like something on the ground that's... Oh, it's the stun gas. Okay. Man, that stuff sticks around. Okay, so a couple of techniques here. I don't want to destroy anything, so let's open her up. Well, I destroyed stuff anyways. Fuck. Now we've got a smoke grenade. Let's wait. Okay. Now at least we have our heavy weapons back. Nobody. Okay. Well, let's hide out. Okay, we can do that. Good. Get a little beachhead going on. Alright, Marcus, go ahead. Let's bring our heavy weapons guy back. Have these guys at the ready. Alright, now. There he is. There's the bastard. So I think I have the time units for a grenade, but I think it takes, yeah, almost everything. Oh no. So yeah, I'll smoke him out. Let's double check this over here. And we do see him. We can take a normal shot, but it's shit. Lara can take a shot. She just can't move very far. That door's open. I don't like that. That's it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Injured 1 days. Damn. Poor Joe. Poor Joe. Dude, he did so good. He's killed so much for us. We got 50,000 too, and we destroyed the civilian guard corpse, unfortunately. Yeah, that was a guard. Okay, that wasn't like a leader. Civilian non-combatant corpse, and we got the Reaper corpse. We didn't have a Reaper corpse? I guess we haven't researched it yet, that's why. Alenium and alenium alloys. Alright, so we recovered some good stuff. Base construction mission. I have a report of an engagement between local forces and the ETs around a historically important mountainside which tourists flock to every year. Look at the photos here and here. You can see they've used some kind of device to bore a kilometer-long tunnel into the rock. Unfortunately, this just isn't simple-minded vandalism. This is something more sinister. The ET's orbital fleet gives them the freedom to strike at any target in any part of the globe, but this freedom is restricted by their lines of supply. ET UFOs need to head back to their motherships to refuel, which the eggheads tell me is physically taxing even for their advanced technology. This total dependency means the fleet must have massive and ongoing supply operation to provide it with everything it needs, even though our planet has more than adequate resources if they could only get at them. To relieve the supply and repair burden on their fleet, the fleet must construct forward operating bases on the planet as places for refitting and repairing smaller craft, staging areas for ground-based missions, and supply dumps for foraging expeditions to reduce supply dependency. This tunnel looks like a test bore to see if that mountainside would be a suitable candidate. Pity they didn't do their homework, huh? National landscapes aside, we can expect ET bases to be set up in remote locations away from centers of population, so make it hard to track them down. I've dispatched agents to gather what information they can, and our analysts are poring over historical UFO sighting data. But this will take time, and it isn't a reliable source of information. The most reliable way to detect an ET base is by tracing UFO activity. Only medium-class signals or higher will carry out base construction missions. Look out for medium signals that land, take off again, and land shortly after, doing this several times. That's a sign the ETs are surveying sites to see if they are suitable for a base. Their bases will need essential supplies they can't manufacture themselves. So, if you can't find any bases, look for medium-class signals which dot all over locations that don't seem to occupy either a city or your own base. If you follow those craft to their end destination, they should lead you right to the ET base. ET bases are parasites that will sap the will of the sponsor they're attached to. While they don't have any obvious short-term effect, over the long term, they are as dangerous as any direct alien attack. Ooh, very interesting. Interception mission. What do you want to hear first, the good or the bad news? The good news is we're having a serious impact on ET air operations. Incidents are down over the sponsors recovering, and R&D's happy with the technology we've recovered. The bad news is ET High Command has escalated operations by introducing dedicated fighter craft. The ETs have set up combat air patrols, CAP, to directly counter both our own interceptors and national forces. UFOs tasked on interception missions will patrol the skies, striking at civilian and military craft. Data from the previous intercept suggests that ET fighters on CAP missions will make Xenonaut aircraft a priority. If ET interceptors spot our craft, most likely informed by ET satellites, they will head directly towards them and force a fight. Interceptors are the most likely type of UFO on CAP, so look for very small signals. Dropships will be especially easy targets, so I'd recommend clearing out squadrons with interception missions before tackling other craft to prevent accidents happening to the ground team. Ooh, so they can destroy our strike craft. How crazy is that? And speaking of crazy, we lost Joe. Oh, so sad. So we need someone with high TU, decent accuracy. Dude, this guy's perfect. I'm going to change you to Assault, Jennifer, and assign you to Charlie. There we go. Let's take a look to make sure it went all right. Good. Jennifer Russell. Hey, she's even black just like Joe was. All right. Good. Mike is definitely needing some downtime. Okay. Very good. I like it. Let's overwrite and go. Laser carbine is finished. Let's pile up. Yes. The Buzzard Jumpsuit is a variant of the Wolf battle armor designed for mobility over protective ability. So yeah, slightly less than the Wolf. 10. It is fitted with an integrated jumpsuit, a device that allows the wearer to move vertically on the battlefield. Refinement of the armor plate has decreased weight, slightly reducing protection but letting the soldier carry more into battle. The jumpsuit unit is a rather substantial device worn on a back harness. It consists of a miniaturized Millennium reactor connected to a pair of thrusters that sit above the wearer's shoulders, paired with various gyroscopic flight control systems and sensors. Though the jump unit is not powerful enough for prolonged flight, the user is able to hover for short periods if necessary. Even those who are not trained as pilots should find it easy enough to use in combat. Input from the wearer is recorded via touchpads in the gloves, allowing them to steer their intended flight path. Sadly, also preventing them from using weapons while airborne. A complex array of vector-thrusted ports copied from the alien directional thruster design provide the firing control and auto-stabilization when in flight. Clearly, the ability to jump atop buildings or leap impassable terrain is utility in the battlefield, particularly for your scouts and marksmen. Soldiers regularly exposed to enemy fire will still likely need the added protection of the wolf, however. I agree. So, what do I want next? Well, our ground combat's going pretty good. A new dropship with more capacity would be welcome. More manpower is always acceptable, but I think air combats will have to get more intense, so let's upgrade our ships. I don't quite have the money, but it's halfway through the month. Yeah, I still just need to make it. How much is the buzzard armor? 40,000? But it takes longer. I want one. That'll be good. Reaper class analysis. That was a bad business with Hawkins, Commander. I'm certain she was intending to breach the quarantine seals on the Sazin subject we had under study. Thankfully, she opened the Reaper larvae maturation pod instead. The silver lining on this cloud is that we have been able to closely study the effects of Reaper larvae metamorphosis on humans. Pursuant to your request on more information about Reapers, I have drawn together what we know about their class structure and appended what data we have on Reaper zombies as well. Alpha Reaper. As if the standard Reaper weren't bad enough, we have identified certain Reapers who are faster, stronger, and more resilient than their common brethren. These Alpha Reapers are relatively few in number, but they are just as fecund as the standard Reaper. Left unchecked, they can reduce cities to gibbering zombie hordes in short order. The Alpha Reaper is identifiable by its lighter hue. Oh, okay. Zombie. The zombie resembles a hunchbacked waxwork that stood too close to the fire. Facial features run together and limbs become elongated, muscle-bound, and misshapen. The hunch, from which the rapidly maturing Reaper will burst from, is lined with blotchy veins. In this state, zombies can do little more than swing their limbs while screaming in pain and rage. Don't let a zombie get too close. The host's death triggers a hyper-accelerated burst of growth in the larva, and you don't want the birth scream of a new Reaper to chime with the death rattle of your soldiers. Alpha Zombie. Alpha zombies are superficially the same shape, but the processes which create the alpha supercharge the zombie. Their shapes are more capable of bearing the extra load of an alpha, and as a consequence they are faster, stronger, and more resilient. Be very careful if your own troops are infected, Commander. While they don't have the brains to use their weapons, they still wear the tattered remains of their armor, and it will provide more protection than the torn clothing that graces civilian zombies. Ooh. Civilian non-combatant analysis. Commander, our xenosociologist has been compiling information on the civilian race. Most of it, while interesting, is irrelevant for field operations. I've taken the time to compose a summary of the most useful information on them, or for your men. I'm sure you've heard of the self-congratulation and backslapping going on in the locker room over the success of the last mission. I hate to turn those smiles into frowns, actually I don't, but many of those hard targets were, amusingly enough, not intended for ground operations. From our data, we have strong reason to believe a sizable number of subjects recovered are non-combatants. They form the operational core of any UFO crew, acting as pilots, engineers, navigators, and other essential non-combatant roles. They neither need nor are given more than basic training in combat, are armed with pistols, and only have their naked, if resilient, skin as protection. Incidentally, I have had to chastise some lab assistants for skinning civilians and selling their hides to your men. Did you know that Corporal England is an amateur leatherworker? I should check their uniforms, if I were you. Our xenosociologists theorize they are either a slave caste bred in the millions to serve the needs of the higher echelons, or younglings who have yet to find their position within the larger social group and are assigned duties suitable for young aspirants who cannot yet be trusted with a gun. In either case, they are likely to stick close to grounded UFOs, and it is extremely unlikely that the men will see them in any dedicated alien combat operation. Very interesting. Alright, so here comes an asshole with escort. Foxtrot 2 is grounded. So Soviet Union, let's scramble 3 Condors. Intercept. Send all 3 of those. Yeah, still being repaired. Do it. Return to base. Actually, what do you guys have? Let's see if they can take them. Yeah, disengage. Wonder if he'll land. Dead zone. Do you guys have enough fuel? Low fuel. Nope. Yeah, we're not really covering here. And he's landed. Let's intercept with all 4. Oh, we can only go with 2. So there we go. Engage. There we go. Alright. So, on the next one, guys, who are we fighting? Civilians. Civilians and Reapers ahoy. I'll see you on the next one.